Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about borderline personality disorder in pregnancy. I'm going to be talking about my personal experience with it, considering I am borderline, and I'll be talking about ways that you can cope with it. So going back a little bit, in 2012, 2013 I believe, I was diagnosed as borderline personality disorder. So like I said in my other videos, borderline personality disorder is feeling your emotions too much. You have a fear of abandonment, you have a lot of agitation and irritability. So I've been going through this for a few years now. I'm currently 24. Yeah, it can be really hard at times. I am in therapy for it and I am taking the proper medications. You see, the thing with pregnancy is that you need to watch the medications that you're on because a lot of them can affect the unborn baby. I had to come off my mood stabilizer, which helps me to regulate my emotions better so I can feel them normally. The best thing that I would suggest is that if you are on certain medications and you become pregnant, to go to your registered practitioner. They'll be able to help you decide which medications are the best ones for you to be currently on. Anyway, so getting back into it, when I first became pregnant, I was very scared, mainly because I had to come off medication. I hadn't been off medication for, well, I started it in 2012, so it's been a long time that I've been on medication. And the thought of coming off it was terrifying because I couldn't remember how I was before medication. So in the first trimester, I was very sick. I was in and out of hospital a lot to get rehydrated. Combine that with withdrawals from my medication, it was really hard. So you can understand why I was so scared. I think the hardest thing about pregnancy and having BPD is the fact that it's hard to tell the difference between being hormonal from the pregnancy and having your normal mood swings. Anyway, I increased my attendance to my psychologist. I told my psychologist straight away what was going on and she was understanding. I went straight to my practitioner and he did the dating scan and altered my medications as soon as possible. Another hard thing about it was the fact that I wasn't getting any sleep. With pregnancy, you just naturally don't get much sleep anyway because you just become nocturnal. But I needed my medication to help me sleep. I've always been a bad sleeper, so I would usually be up until 5 in the morning and then sleep and then wake up at 9. So you can imagine what it was like. Another thing that made it hard was the fact that I had to quit smoking. Yes, I know it's really bad to smoke and all that sort of thing, but I smoke like cigarettes. I smoke cigarettes. The reason I smoke cigarettes is because it helps with my anxiety. I don't recommend it, so don't take it on. Everyone kept telling me that the second trimester will be the easiest. It took a while for that to kick in. It is true, right? About midway through the second trimester, my mood swings did die down and I could tell the difference between my borderline and the pregnancy. I also started getting a lot more sleep. I started sleeping during the day, which I wouldn't recommend either because it does get a bit depressing. You're alone during the night because your partner's asleep or anyone's asleep, whoever you're living with or if you're living with anyone. And then during the day, you're just asleep. So, yeah. My morning sickness didn't die down though, so that was really stressful. I couldn't eat anything. I was living on Icy Pulse and iced tea. That was all I could keep down. I really started to miss eating and I was getting so jealous and upset with my partner because he was eating these amazing food and I was just sitting there eating an icy pop. Entering the third trimester, I started getting really sluggish. I was very anemic because Bubs was taking all my iron. I know you're meant to take the prenatal vitamins. I was meant to be on Elevate, but unfortunately that was making my morning sickness a lot worse. So I stopped taking them. I was being heavily monitored by the midwives. Each appointment they would make sure that I was okay. At the initial appointment they made me take I don't actually know the name of it, but it's some sort of test and they measure your depression level, make sure you're not getting perinatal depression or anything like that. As I got near to the end of the pregnancy, I started getting my hallucinations a lot more. I was seeing things around me. That was scary because, again, I had been on medication for so long, I didn't remember what it was like to be a part of these hallucinations. So my partner and I, we booked in with the midwife to go in and talk to them, and I explained the issue. And she had a talk with the head midwife, and they decided the best thing for me and for Bubs is to be induced. I was induced a couple days later. The labour was really hard. I struggled with the pain. I'm not good with pain. Like, I know I've got tattoos, but even then, I'm a little baby when it comes to pain. The midwife who was on at the time, I had 3 midwives during the time of my induction. The first midwife said that she highly recommended getting the epidural just because she didn't want me to feel too much pain during my labour. I actually slept through most of my labour, but when it came to pushing, they did turn the epidural off. That was the worst part because I was feeling my labour in my back. This is my little man. His name's Wyatt Jack. He was born on the 24th of October last year. He's a bit of a cutie. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to cover this a bit more in my next video. I'm hoping to get it out next week, maybe at the end of this week. I want to cover the afterbirth of giving birth and borderline personality, because a lot did happen after I gave birth that affected my borderline. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, have a good one.